So recently I've been seeing a lot of people asking me if it's wise to save for the ReZero banner. The ReZero collab should be coming to global very soon. They announced in the dev notes, I should have pulled that up, but they did announce in the dev notes that they were going to have two collabs in the span of one moment, which as you might know, it's quite a bit. It's quite a bit of summons to do. I'm actually pulling it up. It's I believe this one, where at the end there they said yes, over the span of a month we'll be having collaborations with two IPs. I don't know if this means that as soon as the Stranger Things collab banner goes away, if ReZero is gonna pop in on global like right away, or if global is gonna have like a grace period of like maybe an extra 1 or 2 weeks, because that would still mean over the period of a month if it comes in like 2 weeks from now, or 3 weeks from now. But I'm gonna have to assume here that they mean that as soon as the Stranger Things collab banner goes away in a week, because today is already Sunday, so Monday in America is like a week from when this banner come out. So the banner should last 2 weeks, and then the banner should go away. So I'm gonna have to assume that ReZero is gonna come out very soon. And I've been seeing some people asking me, should they summon for ReZero or should they summon for Zeldris? Which Zeldris is interesting character. Honestly, the more time that goes by, the least I like Zeldris. I love Chandler though. Chandler is amazing. But less and less I like Zeldris. You see almost no Zeldris in PvP right now, but you see a lot of Chandler. Like a lot of Chandler. So there's that. But I wanted to point out something. So I'm here in the game, and you can check here. This is of course on global, same thing. You can check the top 3 teams from last season. And you may see an interesting pattern. So this is number 1 team, this is number 2 team, and this is number 3 team. I know, the variety is insane. But as you can tell, all 3 teams are the exact same. HP defense Liz, HP defense Emilia, HP defense Ram, with attack crit. Actually, the first level 1, not level 1, place 1 is actually attack lifesteal. But all the other 2 Merlins are attack crit with lifesteal rolls, I actually checked. So, you ask me, what should I do? Should I summon on the ReZero banner? Because clearly, these ReZero characters are broken. Number 1, 2, and 3 place all using it. One interesting thing is that I've beaten this team like several times. And one other interesting thing is that I just realized that the music is not playing in the recording. Right? No, it is. It just says that it's very low. Well, I'm gonna have to see in post if it's too low. But the interesting thing is, right, I faced this team a lot last season, but all these people had like 2 or 3 6 Emilia, and they wouldn't one-shot me because Emilia needs a 6/6, and that's where I don't know if you should summon for a 6/6 Emilia. You wanna know how long it took me to get a 6/6 Emilia? 3,600 gems. That's how much it took me to get a 6/6 Emilia. And that's with me getting her guaranteed every time. No, not every time. I think I got her guaranteed 5 of the 6 times, or 4 of the 6 times. So just so you have an idea how unlikely it is to pull these characters is 0.25%, which, don't get me wrong, Stranger Things collab characters are also 0.25%, but I'm going to make a point for them. But there's one thing. I did make a video on Gem and Ram, and some people might have like not actually got to this point in the video because it was very, very late there. And most people's attention span is like 30 seconds. It is actually an actual fact. Half the viewers of every YouTube video leave at 30 seconds. It is a fact. Every single YouTube video, regardless. So here's one thing about Ram, right? That's very interesting. So check. I did a level 3 AoE. AoE. What's her multiplier? 325. For new, it's actually pretty good. She killed Esterosa. And that's with Chandler lowering her stats by 7%. She killed Esterosa with the AoE. And almost killed Meliodas. Because of the gem combo with her. Not using Death Pierce. Not using Ludociel. Not even using Green Gopher. Wait, am I using Death Pierce? No, I'm using Ram. Sorry, I had to cough there for a second. I'm using Red Gopher, because you can't use Green Gopher with her. She's unidentified. Using Ram, and no Death Pierce, just not even... Was I using Sauriel Link? I think I was. I think I switched up, right? No, I think I wasn't. Wasn't I? I don't think I was. Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't put Sauriel Link. I wasn't even using Sauriel Link. And she just one-shot Esteros and almost one-shot Assault Melee. So I'm just saying, I'm making a point that this Ram character is, I would say, almost as good as 11. Which is the point that I have for Stranger Things. 11 is so good. Let me actually pull up 11. 11 is so good, and you don't need dupes. These two characters are two very good damage dealers that only work with their cards. They don't need dupes, and the only thing that I would say is that Ram might have an edge over 11 on the fact that a lot of PvP right now is green. Like, you would think, oh, there's so many Escanors right now, but JP currently, the meta is Merlin or Assault Melee. Escanors you see ever so often, which then, yeah, I guess you'd lose, but most matches are either Assault Melee or Merlin, and so Ram can have a much better time against those people than 11 does. But 11 is such a good PvE unit as well. Her Power Strike card and her wave are really good. So I would say, if you're already summoned, there's a good chance you're already summoned. If you pulled 11, 1/6 is just fine. If you're going to the ReZero banner, and you want to summon for the ReZero characters, just be of note, you want to have a 6/6 Emilia, if you're going to use her. Because her ultimate is absurd. She has the same ultimate as Assault Melee. Sorry, not Assault Melee, Lost Vein Melee. But she doesn't have the stats that Lost Vein Melee has. She doesn't have the crit chance, doesn't have the crit damage. She is not going to hit as hard as Lost Vein Melee, even though she does have the same ultimate as him. You do want to have her at 6/6, which is not a task that's too easy, you know? Again, 3,600 gems, that's not, that's not the... If you're super lucky, you might 6/6 rotation, in which, if you do, I'll shake your hand and give you a slap in the butt. But it's not gonna happen, okay? I'm being realistic here, 0.25%. I do recommend summoning, though, for Ram. She's a phenomenal character. Ram is free, and again, this team right here is a free-to-play team. Let's not count the dupes and the costumes, okay? Other than the dupes and the costumes, this is a free-to-play team. Jim is free-to-play. Ram, you have to pull one copy. So, not free-to-play friendly. Sorry, I did a bad word there. Free-to-play friendly team. Ram, I don't think I used her ultimate in this video. Maybe I used once in one match. But you don't play with her for her ultimate. Red Gopher is on the coin shop, and Ram, you get one copy of her for free. I do recommend summoning, doing a rotation. If you can pull all four, nice, but Beatrice is just horrible. So if you don't pull her, don't worry. Emilia Freeze is phenomenal for a lot of PvE activities, and you might actually make good use of her if you pull like 2 or 3 copies on ungeared. Ram, if you get any extra dupes for her, I do recommend duping her. Don't use it to like exchange, because the extra CC would be nice, and there are moments where she goes to the field and maybe having her ult would be nice. But I will say her ultimate is kind of terrible. Same one as Death Pierce. And then Ram, again, just if you get one copy of her, she's so much fun. She's my waifu, and she doesn't need dupes. She really doesn't. What you're using for her is her cards. It's the same point I give to like someone like the One versus Assault Melee. The One was so much easier to have because you can have him in 1/6 and function, while Assault Melee kind of relies on his ultimate, and that's why so many people that are free to play tend to rely more on the One. But Assault Melee right now is a very strong team. Or you have the option, you know, if you don't want to summon for ReZero because maybe you want to be you just don't want to have collab characters, I don't know, maybe just like having only 7 Deadly Sins characters in your box. In which case, just try not to get a gem that's free, or a RAM. But if you don't want to have any of those pesky non-7 Deadly Sins characters, if you want to summon for the Zeldris banner, Chandler is phenomenal, and you might actually get dupes for Assault Melee. I wouldn't you know, put your hopes up for getting dupes for Assault Melee, because again, 0.25. But there are your options. I do recommend summoning for ReZero. The units are fun, and RAM's super good.